Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am NIK NIKAM. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. In this presentation, I'm going to explain to you how I found a way to just practice landing. Anybody can take off, and most of the journey is done by instruments. It is the landing that is the most demanding because we have only one chance to land safely. Let us learn that one first. In order to do that, I'm going to get you a shortcut so that you can repeatedly just start from the final descending point and how to land the plane to start with. Okay, I'm going to select two airports here. I'm going to select KSGR. So you have to create your own flight plan, most likely in your own hometown, which you are familiar with. Two airports, which are approximately, say, 8 to 10 miles apart. It doesn't matter. That the second airport, the place where you land, has to have an ILS landing capability. So we got to Sugar Land Airport, which is here, and then I'm going to pick Houston Hobby, KHOU. Okay, we're going to pick Houston Hobby, and as you can see, they are approximately 20 nautical miles. But we're not going to be traveling the entire 20 nautical miles. What I'm going to do is, right here we have VFR, that is using GPS navigation, and we're going to come here and change this to IFR, low altitude. Most of the Cessna, they go up to 14,000. So we change this to, the moment I change this to IFR, I got some two boxes here. Which runway do you want to run? So there are 35 different runways here. And if you want to know exactly what the runway looks like, and I'll show you in a minute. And here's the runway, which is going like this. And I don't know what is this one is 17. I don't know if the 17 is available. Okay, I would just take because we have to go, this is going north, nautical miles. First, let us set up the arrival. And once I drop this, now you see we have a whole new option of ILS runways, 04, 13, 31, and location 22. So we'll pick ILS 4. The moment I pick ILS 4, see, now it is not a straight path to Hobby Airport. Now it has to go through this particular track, which will get us in a straight line to runway 4 at the Hobby Airport. If you come here, what is happening is we are flying from south to north. See, now we have to make a turn and come back. Instead of that, we use this runway 17, then make that as departure, then it will make things much easier. So if you see now, so that's how you learn how to see now straight line coming south. That's how it is. Okay, so that's even this part we are not going to be using. We have to plan ahead so that basically we're going to start up here and then land, and we can go back and repeat the same process, and I will show you how we can do that. All right, so let's go over here. While this is loading, I wanted to show you a PDF file of the ILS runway 4 for Hobby Airport, and this is the glide path which I'm going to cover while that is loading. Because this is controlled by radio frequency, we have to make sure our navigation 1 is set to 109.9, and our approach angle should be 41 degrees. And here we should be at 4,000 feet at Carco, and Elrond we need to be at 2,000 feet, then 1,500 feet. And these are all the places where we have to change the altitude, and also we have to change the thrust so we maintain a steady speed, because when you're coming down if you maintain the same thrust, it will speed up. So you need to reduce the thrust, throttle I should say, and slowly bring the speed to about 16 nautical miles just before it touches the ground. Let me explain to you. I'm just learning this as I'm talking to you. So the plane may not land at all safely. And these are the little variations we can have when we are landing. This is the horizontal, here, this is the runway, the horizontal error, margin of error, and this is the vertical margin of error. So that is so far as the ILS PDF data is concerned. Now let's continue with, now here we have this plane ready to go. Let's get going here. And once we get started, we're not going to be starting in Sugarland because we're going to start at the final approach, and I'll show you how to get to that. Okay, let's get this one ready to go. So here we have the plane ready to go. Before we try to release the brake and head on, first of all, let's look at the maps here. This is the VFR map, which we can reduce, and here it shows the path. If we just take off and turn on the GPS, it will automatically follow this path, and up to here. From here, the ILS will guide the plane altitude, speed, and all the other different parameters. Let's press Control 1 to look at this screen here, and here you can see some other things. This is the altitude, this is the speed, and this is where we can change the CRS. But most importantly, we want to change the ILS frequency to 109.9. This is where we're going to be changing. We're going to change this one to go to the big wheel, 109, then this one has to go up 109.9, and you press this one. So this is the active channel. So if you press this bidirectional arrow, now it says IHUB. So that is the ILS landing approach frequency for that runway. So let us look at one more thing here. If we look at the flight plan here, it says 44 degrees. And when you come to the runway, it says 44 degrees. If you look at the ILS guidelines, it says 41 degrees approach angle. 3 degrees can make a difference. I'm still trying to figure out, maybe some experts can tell me how to change this like SA to 41 degrees here to activate this, so at least we can run on one or the other side of the runway. But this 3 degrees can really throw you off. Let's keep that in mind. And here is a travel to. The way you get that travel to is to click on this one, and if you come here, click on this little eyedropper, you get travel to. Here you can start off with the final approach, so that you can skip all these parts, because cruising, descending, approach, they are all automatically done by your GPS guided travel. This is where things get really tricky in a short duration of time. So let us learn to practice this one maybe 10, 50, 100 times until we can land a plane and get off. How about that? That's my intention today. Let's see how we're going to do. I have no clue. After you have finished the first round, you can go back and restart the flight, and again start at the final step, and keep repeating it all day long, all week long, until you get much comfortable with the landing process. Once you get the landing confidently, then the rest of it is going to just fall in line, because landing is the most crucial thing when we take off. So we have this one ready. So let's see how we can do here. We are ready to go, and make sure I have everything set to go. And that 3 degree difference is going to make it. I don't know. Let's see if I can fix this one here. So we can come here and Vivo, or we can set this to, let's set this to, I don't know if it works. I don't know if this can override that. CDI, that's what I'm supposed to be changing. I don't know why it's changing range. Let's put it at 42 degrees. And this map says 41 and that one says 44. This one here it says 44. Here the ILS map says 41. So let's leave it at 42 and see whether this will follow this particular pathway. So initially we'll leave it here because we should be coming right into the pathway. Alright, so we have this one set up here. Everything will be done automatically because we are already in the approach, we passed the approach, so we are just practicing landing and it's going to take off. So let's see how we're going to do. And also I want to change the weather. It's 8 o'clock, let's go 11 o'clock, so we got a little brighter sunshine here. Oh, 11, okay, 11 on my joystick. Okay, and here you can watch the speed. Once we get to 70, 80 knots, we can lift off. When we lift off, make sure you don't go like 20 degrees. This is 5 degrees here, and that's where I think you get stalled. If the angle of attack is too much, then we get a stall. 70, 60 miles. Boy, it's having a hard time climbing. Okay, let's go off here. 10 degrees should be okay. 15 is fine. If it's a stall, then we have to kind of watch it carefully. When it gets to 1,000 feet, well, what I did was I had to back off. Let me exit here and let us restart this. Before you start, when you saw that little square box, you should just say, I want to start with the final approach. In that way, it will take you right into the final pathway for ILS landing. Okay, let's go here. See, it's already in flight and this is the path we are supposed to be following. So let us focus on what we are like 800 feet and 100 miles. We need to reduce the speed. The speed is too fast. When you see the red, that means the speed is too fast, but be careful. You don't want to drop it too much. And make sure it is about like 70 miles. That's good. As you can see, the angle is, I hope it is correct. We'll just see. The flaps are one more down, which is fine. Our speed is climbing, so we need to reduce the speed. Our altitude is coming down 60 miles. You just can't control this. To me, it looks like we are a little bit off here. Let me see if I can switch it to here and see if it works. It says the speed is, I'm reducing the throttle. We are 1200 feet above the ground level, so the speed should be pretty good now. 70 miles. Reduce the speed some more to, and we'll put the flaps down 2 more, so we have flaps down all the way. We are climbing, so we need to reduce the speed some more. Throttle. Reduce the throttle. See, it's very hard to control the throttle here because we are 1,000 feet. I have to maintain. The throttle is down, fine. Altitude is coming down. 70 miles. Just a little bit less throttle. I can drop it some more. Altitude is coming down gradually. 60 miles, which is perfect. We just want to make sure that we reach the runway, and as we can see, here we are, and you can watch the runway here. Once we are inside the runway, we can reduce the throttle and take off the autopilot. So just a little bit off, but I hope we'll be okay. Alright, the speed is okay. Now reduce the throttle altogether and just see if we can. As I said, I am off because of that degree changes. Let it glide, come down.
500.
It's too far off. I think we should have started to descend much earlier. But anyway, so let's see if we can. That 2 degrees makes a big difference. And just when it's ready to touch, you just lift the, let it run. Brake. Okay.
NIK 20 exit, runway with able.
Okay, I think this is probably as good as I have ever done after maybe 50 attempts. But you get the idea. Also remember, we don't, when they say 500 feet, when they say 500 feet, you have to realize what your altitude is. This is 50 feet above the sea level, so 500 feet. And I had to still perfect that the landing at the final stage so that we land just a few lines after the number. But you can go back, press escape and say restart, continue, so that the next time you focus on the speed. Third time focus on the throttle. Fourth time focus on the altitude. Fifth time focus on the degree. Most people say, take off the autopilot 50 feet above the ground. That's something we can do to maybe have a better control of the landing in the final stages when we are just close to touchdown. I'll just show you how to restart it from the final approach so that you can continuously repeat this over and over several times so that you become much more confident. You train your muscles and the mind. Here we go. Let's take off here and we come over here and we say we want to go to the final step. Do you want to travel to final? And you say yes, and you do the same steps you did. As long as you land and walk out, I think kudos for you. Today I survived, and I'm going to be trying this all day today and all week so that I think we have to develop the visual depth, which is very hard to follow in a plane if you're doing it for the first time. But we are used to looking longitudinally, but looking from the sky, the depth is something, that's why a lot of it we have to go through instrumentation. The ILS is a good way to land. There are other ways we can use NAV to land and manually land it. I have tried to manually land it, and every time it just landed not the most appealing manner. Anyway, thank you so much, and I hope this has given you some clues as how to set up a ILS approach between two airports close by in your hometown, so you're familiar with the area, and then just use the final approach part of that journey and then repeatedly practice landing. I think even if we do 100 practices, it's worth it, because once we get confidence in this one, the rest of this will be much more enjoyable, and you will truly begin to appreciate the beauty of this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I am NIK NIKAM, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'm going to bring all the growing pains of a new simmer so that you understand there are thousands of people like us who are starting, who have the same challenges like the rest.